Hello, Toddbog here, and welcome to a new Let's Play of Conquest of Elysium 5. Our Scourgelord playthroughs didn't go as planned. I may need to go back to the drawing board and learn a little bit more to play with them, or maybe not get so unlucky. It could be a combination of both as well. I did learn a lot in my playthroughs, and I do plan on revisiting them. Maybe I'll do them as a stream, so keep your eyes open for that. But it's time to jump into something new, which is to say something old, because we played through the 3 new races now, or classes in the game. So we're going to go ahead and jump into one of the old classes. But because I did almost every class in Conquest of Elysium 4, the only class I did not do was the Necromancer. So I think that's what we're going to do today. If you caught the end of my last video, the end of the Scourgelord playthrough, we did get to see that a Necromancer was on the board, and they had some cool units that I had not seen before. So this will be a whole lot of fun to kind of explore the class. So after this, we'll be going through a lot of the other regular classes. So this is probably my last playthrough where I'm playing completely blind and don't really know the mechanics by heart for the class. The other ones I learned a lot through my playthrough, so we'll be able to do those. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll do our usual large. We'll do a random society. We'll throw on battle reports because those were definitely great. Take these down. So the reason I'm deleting the players, adding count, and doing this is because then they will retain the difficulty, so I don't have to go through and select count for everybody. As always, this playthrough will be beginner friendly and will be played to completion. So definitely hang on to your hats if you're interested in learning about the Necromancer, because you can learn with me here. So we'll hit the info button. There are sorcerers who are adept at the dark art of necromancy. Who would have thought, right? Summoning living the dead. The other aspect is the harvest of hands. On stormy nights, darkly robed men collect the left hands of hanged murderers, called hands of glory. The burnt flesh of such hands is pleasant to ghosts and evil spirits who can aid the necromancer in his horrible arts. When enough are burnt, spirits from the darkest realm can be called to instruct the necromancer to how to turn his body into that of the living dead. So they have very weak troops at the start of the game. It's essential for you to quickly find a battlefield or graveyard. Ritual of Dark Knowledge is important in this search. Use an apprentice, and you can go and basically get people raised up. As you do, though, you start to go crazy. So you have to manage that. So starts in a very well-fortified Dark Citadel. Can sense the amount of dead where they are. Can raise the dead for the price of some sanity. Collects Hands of Glories from large villages and towns. And can use Hands of Glory to perform rituals to summon undead beings. So that's us, the Necromancer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 unique players, and go. And we'll be Toddbog. Alright, so we got a scout. So let's take a look at what we've got here. So standard troops for humans. So we get spearmen. They have 6 hit points, no armor, and they get a shield which blocks 0 to 1. The way shield and armor work is reduces damage taken by the troop. So right now it's a 50-50 chance of blocking 1 damage, I believe, is how that reads. So they do 1 to 4 damage. So spearmen versus spearmen, it's going to be slow go, but they can kill each other. Archers have 1 to 3 damage at a range of 5 with their bows. Otherwise, they're pretty weak troops. I say pretty weak, but they actually are better melee fighters than our swordsmen, aren't they? Our spearmen, aren't they? That's interesting. The only difference is the initiative. Initiative tells you when they attack. So at 3, at 6. So the higher your initiative, the quicker you attack. So yeah, pretty weak starting force for sure. But we do have our Necromancer, and he knows spells, and he can sense the dead. So he's got disease, not exactly great in a battle, but it does weaken the enemy. Reanimation summons a Soulless, so that's good. Dark Power does 1 to 7 damage in 3 strikes, so it'll hit up to 3 guys. And Drain, so it heals him. And then Soul Vortex, which does 1 to 6 damage in a burst of 9. So it'll hit 9 different spots. The cool thing about these damages is that they're magic and armor negating in this case, which means that they ignore any armor the enemy has. So high armor troops, low armor troops, they all die the same to the Necromancer. Now, unfortunately, he's got reanimation, which is okay, but disease is not great. So, what's your name? Wallen? All right, Wallen. Again, I can rename the commander, so leave a drop a comment if you want to put yourself in the game, and I'll be more than happy to rename one of my people for you. Let's see, we've already start with a group of goblins nearby. Not the worst thing in the world, but we do have Hands of Glory going and stuff like that. So on top of being spellcasters, they're also, of course, necromancers, so they can do these rituals here, like raise the dead. There's no dead here, though, but raise the dead and reanimate animals. We can only do that where there are corpses. And then the Stygian Path allows us to shift into the world of Hades. I'll be able to rush at incredible speeds until the spell ends. The spell ends after 1 month, and when it does, the Necromancer and his men will return to Elysium again. So, well, it looks like it's just a temporary trip to Hades. That's interesting. And then Wallen has Raise Dead and then Minor Summoning. Minor Summoning's good. It's only a small handful of troops, but it doesn't cause you to go insane. So you'll get Wights, Ghost Warriors, or Shades. And then, of course, you can Raise the Dead as well. Again, it'll make them crazy. And what crazy does, insanity, is it'll let you, or it can have a chance of not, how do I put this? When you're insane, there's a chance that you won't be able to control a commander. They won't be able to move or act. They'll be stuck. And it's a percentage based on the insanity. So, yeah, 50 insanity, you have a 50-50 chance of not having any control. So, anyways, so we'll grab our force here. I think we need to crush these goblins, unfortunately, so that'll be our first step. But recruit-wise, we've got some interesting things. So the Necromancer used to only be able to recruit up to basically where the scout line was, and that was what they had in Part 4. So these are all your standard crewmen. We saw Spearmen. Swordsmen just hit a little harder and have armor, so they cost iron, which is another resource. Archers, just like you saw. Crossbowmen are more powerful archers, but they only get to attack every other round, so they shoot once every 2 rounds. Heavy infantry are great because they have the heavy armor plus a large shield, which blocks even more damage, and decent hit points, but they are slow. And so they only have 2 action points per month, which means they can't get across the world map very quickly at all. Catapult's your siege weapon. We'll explain that more when siege has happened. And then scouts, this is a special, that's why it's in green. And this comes and goes, so I may not always have a scout available. But they get the ability to see stealthy units, and that's why you'd want them in your army. Now, these are new to me. So we got a Soulless Soldiers. So these guys are quite powerful because they have 13 hit points and a shield. Yeah, shield. But they're undead as well, so they never heal. But they do 1 to 5 damage, so they're better than our Spearmen with twice the hit points. And you get 5 of them? Yep, 5 of them. And these just cost straight iron. So, and then you got Armored Soulless. These guys are even better because they have the 2 armor, but they're also slow. Are the Soulless Soldiers slow? Yeah. So these guys are slow. Armored Long Dead are the same, but they're not slow. That's why they have less hit points. But they have the 2 armor, which is good, but they never heal. So you can construct these guys out of iron. These used to not be available. Banefire Archers are phenomenal. These little guys only have 3 hit points, but they hit with these Banefire bows, and they do 1 to 3 regular damage, 1 to 2 armor negating magic damage, and they cause decay, which can kill the enemy. If you get decayed, you're basically dead, unless you have regeneration. And then we have Bane bows, Bane Bones, who have the Bane blades, which also cause decay. 5 hit points and 1 armor and a shield. So yeah, these are new, and that's really cool because it gives you access to troops that are more themed for you as well. So starting wise, we get a farm and gallows, so we get access to 1 gold, as you can see in the bottom, and then we get access to 3 Hands of Glory for the gallows. So at this point, we need to go kill these gobos, so let's go ahead and do that, because they are nearby, and they'll get us corpses, which we can then raise. So we'll go ahead and end our turn here. Oh, and we'll take a look at our income. So this is a battle report. You can hit stats, and it'll show you what happened. As you can see, we murdered them all, because goblins are weak. But we'll go ahead and watch the battle. So it goes at this speed normally, and you can see exactly what happened. And as you can see, every archer has pretty much killed somebody. But then we'll shoot them up with our spells, and then I'll just speed it along here. So pretty simple. We did murder them, so Wallen, we can do a raised dead here. Beef up the army a little bit. Since they were goblins, they come as little guys. All these guys are just hit point sinks. They only do 1 damage. The little long dead do a little bit more, but we only got a couple of those, so not the best use of our insanity, huh? We're at 7, so we have a 7% chance of being insane. Let's go ahead and transfer all of these guys. And we need to go out and explore. Oh, they're little. Yeah. Okay. Wallen will transfer those guys later. My lord needs to move out and take over this here, because this will give us some more gold. We got ourselves a town here. That has way too much for us to take at this time, but we'll deal with that later. Wallen, let's transfer all of these guys to your power. Alright, so we lost the spearmen, but we killed theirs. Archer probably got them. Yep. So, not bad. We got ourselves a hamlet. So we just continue to explore, and we're looking for points of interest so that we can get more powerful, more economy and things like that. So Wallen at this point, you can do a little exploring of your own since you have the gold, or the troops. Alright, captain. Alright, so we got 26 gold. Right now it takes 50 gold to hire something, so we're basically saving up the 50 gold to get our first recruit. We're making sure everything's clear near us, though, so that we don't lose, because you lose by either losing... something took my thing and I didn't notice it. I thought I was controlling him. But basically we lose by losing our last citadel or losing our last leader. So what just happened here is an ambush. So we get lined up like this, kind of, and the enemy will attack us from all sides. So we don't get the benefit of our formations, and it can expose your commander to death. So you got to be very careful here. It's probably bandits, because those guys are bastards, but... they have bad sight, even. Miss 20% of all attacks, huh? You guys don't have that. Okay. Alright, let's kill the bandits. Iron Mine, that would be really nice. 2 trolls, though. These guys regenerate, and they do a sweep attack, so they'll hit multiple targets. We'll explain that more when we fight them, but we at least have a target. Alright, let's see how our battle reports went. So, ambush in a hamlet. Brigand, we murdered him. Okay, so that was a brigand. And this one, we lost one of our little soulless, but we swarmed him. Very nice. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and kill this. So these are levies. They're really weak. 5 hit points, 1 to 4, but they're stationary, so they can never be taken around. The Baron can summon levies to defend his territories, which is really cool. So we'll grab that coastal hamlet. We'll probably get up. That 7% insanity kicked in, and now I can't move. It turns red to let you know, and then it will, if you try to move, it'll tell you you're insane. It doesn't want to move, so at least it gives you the feedback, right? So well, we're still earning absolutely no gold. Battle in a coastal hamlet. We lost 2 spearmen this time. We lost them to fire. What cast the fire? Alright, well, we'll find out, because I have to definitely check that one out again. I wasn't expecting fire. Oh, there was a mad cultist. Okay, that's why I didn't see him. This is good. Mad Cultist is one of the ones that can do a post-apocalyptic event, or an apocalyptic event. So that's why we lost our guys. If you let him sit, he will eventually summon the Demons of Inferno to Elysium, and that's generally game over for most people. So, all right, well, and you're back to control. So now we're in snow. So movement takes action points. Each spot usually takes 1, unless it has boots, like this forest does, in which case it takes the number of boots, in this case 2, or the mountain, which takes 3. Snow covered, though, means movement costs increase by 1, so we're going to move slower in the snow, as makes sense, right? So one thing that also happens is when it's snowing, these things don't give as much gold. So snow reduces gold income by 50%. So what gives 2 normally is now giving 1. So all right, High Lord and 3 Knights would destroy us. Not much we can do. So you'll notice that there's these regular gray guys, which are just your standard NPCs, and then there's this light bluish gray, and those represent the king's forces, quote unquote, the current ruler of Elysium. So his forces will defend towns, will go out and hunt monsters, and will just take nearby points of interest from you as well. So they can be quite powerful. That's what these guys are, because they attack twice. They also have this lance charge, which is once per battle, and does a good amount of damage as well. And they've got 3 armor each and a shield, so they block 3 to 4 damage each attack. And considering most of my guys only do 1 to 4 damage, that's pretty good. And they have 13 hit points. Now, you may be thinking, well, if you only do 1 to 4 damage and they're blocking 3 to 4, then how are you ever going to damage them? And that comes down to the system. And I'm crazy again. It comes down to the system, the way damage is rolled and everything. Damages are what we call an open-ended roll. So you roll the die, and if you roll that 4, what you do then is you then get to roll again, and you subtract 1. So if you roll a 4 and then you roll a 3, that's a total 7. Subtract 1, it's 6. So you'll do 6 damage. So you can go higher than this. The chances are slim and less common the more damage you do, but it's a way you can overcome armor and things like that. So now if you were to roll another 4, you would then add another die and subtract another 1 and so forth. And so you could technically get up to a massive number if the luck was with you, but overall it balances itself out pretty well. So 8 boars, that is not worth fighting at right now. Alright, we'll come and take this farm instead. Alright, we've got some Hands of Glory, so let's go ahead and show off what those can do. We're going to just do a couple minor summons here. So we got some of those, that's good. And we got some of those. Okay. So these guys I say are good, but they're really not that great. They have Touch of the Dead, which does weakness and 1 to 3 damage, but it's magic. They're ethereal though, so that means 1 in 4 times they're not. They're only going to get hit 1 in 4 times. So every 4 attacks, roughly, the enemy will only hit once. But they only have 1 hit point, so they only have to hit once. These other guys are the same, but they have 6 hit points. And again, their sword is magic, so certain enemies, like ethereal enemies, can be hit by magical attacks. So it's fairly nice to have those. As you see, it's just only a handful, though, so it's a little weaker in that regard, but overall, it'll definitely be helpful. Now, this we want. We want villages, because as you can see, it not only gives the gold, but it also gives Hands of Glory, and so we need those. That's why we need this town. It gives 2 Hands of Glory, but at 17 troops and a catapult, we're not going to be able to take that right now. So yeah, the early game is going to be spent just basically taking control of resources and trying to, and that's a new thing there. I'll explain that in just a sec. And trying to just get stronger so that you can eventually get your stronger troops and get stronger then. And so on and so forth. And, of course, he's crazy. 7% chance. Come on, dude. Really? Really? Okay. We're just rolling unlucky there. Alright, we're going to go here. Alright. So the fact that this is perpetual snow means I know we're at the north of the map, which means more stuff is going to be down here, so that's why I'm working my way down. Alright, you've got the movement to do that. Let's see. Yeah, maybe we'll save up the hands and get the next level ritual. Alright, so hit stats. We lost a little soulless. Our ghost warriors did all the damage. That's good. I guess they don't want me going there. The wolves are like, nope. 20 units here. What do you got? 4 levies. We can take that. The dwarves, though. That'll give us iron. Iron could be useful. Dwarves are a little tougher. They have 2 armor, 6 hit points, and they do 1 to 8 damage. And then this guy does 1 to 10 damage at a range of 7, but only fires every 3 rounds. So they're pretty hardy, but there's only 5 of them. These guys will heal eventually, which is nice. Now, how do you get an affliction as a ghost? How do you get a debilitating wound as a ghost? And how does it affect your magic attack? That's silly. Alright, yeah, we'll attack. Oh, okay. So now we got a city. As you can see, there's great resources here. It's also a citadel, so you can recruit from there. It's a siegeable location, so not bad, but it's got a ballista and a bunch of archers, so those are going to be very hard to dislodge right now with what we've got. Although our spirits can float right up to the walls. So the siege ballista, though, so we'll go ahead and talk about siege. When you attack a siegeable location, when you do any attack, there's 15 rounds before the battle starts. They start at -15 and count up. And every 2 rounds, since it says siege, it fires every 2 rounds. So that means every 2 rounds it will fire a shot. So you get 7 shots out of a ballista that will just hit amongst your troops and could do 1 to 20 damage to them. It's random, so they could miss a troop and things like that, but they get 7 shots, so that can do some damage. And of course, you can have multiple siege weapons and involved on both sides, and both sides will be starting or will do their attacks and things like that. So that can do some damage to your forces before you even get the fight started. So, all right, yeah, all right. There was a Scourge Lord. They got Syed. The Scourge Lord was eliminated by Sextus the Illusionist. So we got an Illusionist and we got a Cloud Lord, is what we saw in that last thing. So let's go ahead and just view this battle just to see how our troops do. So we only won because of our summons. Definitely took a hit to our numbers there for sure. So we can take 4 levies though, but we got a hamlet here, so let's take the hamlet instead. All right, so we now have a coal mine. We have a source of iron now, which is good. Oh, we've got the goal. We should do that recruit here. We always put archers on the wall. I prefer archers in the early game because they fire every round, which means they can defend or destroy more. Spearmen and 3 archers we definitely want, so we'll take that. Alright, and Wallen can't really do anything else. He should probably do a minor summoning. Beef up the forces. Now that was great, because these are ghost archers, so they have spectral bows. So they're ethereal archers, so that'll definitely help against the farm here. Yeah, you're going to take my stuff because you're a bastard. Alright, so we're just going to hit stats. We lost the spearmen, but we killed their stuff, as expected. Excellent. Alright. What do you have? So these guys all fly, which is cool. If you haven't checked it out, I did a playthrough of them before the Mad Cultist brought Hell to Earth. We were doing fairly well with them too. Storm Magic level 2 is pretty powerful, and then these guys are all the same. They're spearmen. So they're just like our spearmen, except they fly and have ice protection, so nothing too crazy. At this point, we're just going to crash into here and take that. We're doing fairly well as gold goes, so I can't complain there. Except, you know, he's going to take it from me. But battle in the farm. Alright, we lost 3 of our little guys, but we managed to kill another Mad Cultist. Okay, so there's multiple Mad Cultists. Fantastic. I thought there'd be only one, but apparently there isn't, so there's a really good chance that they can bring Inferno to Earth. I wonder if there's just more because of the era, or we're just getting unlucky. So 6 units there, huh? We have our 12 units. There's a castle here, though. That we might be able to take with a few summons here. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to transfer out these 2 guys, because at this point they're not going to provide the firepower we need, and they're slowing us down. We got ourselves a direwolf, though. It's got a horrible howl, siege, strikes anywhere, cone of 6, fear, so it can cause troops to run. Basically, you roll that 1 to 7 die, and you compare it to the enemy morale, and if you, I think if you equal and exceed, they will run, which means that they'll be useless for the rest of the battle. Although maybe not for the rest of the battle now. I did see that they... I did see a unit rally, for instance, so there might be more to it than that at this point. But, yeah, we should take this iron mine, because we're getting the iron now. Let's do that. Coal mine here. These things cast spells, so those are interesting. But these guys are big, 24 hit points, as you might expect from a troll-looking thing. These guys, though, are probably more dangerous because they have the armor and the greatsword. The greatsword. So let's talk sweep real quick. Sweep is basically you roll the die. Let's say you roll a full 11 damage. You'll hit the first target. If you kill it, you'll go to the next target adjacent, providing that damage. So the damage will spread across. And if you have a bunch of little guys, like we did with our undead Soulless here, you'll just sweep through and destroy them. So, all right. I think that's all we're doing here. Yeah, you're annoying. Coal mine stats. We lost an archer. That sucks, but we did take another mine. We are gonna have a problem here, though. Oh, we convert Soulless to do those. Okay, that makes more sense. So the iron is basically to clad them in the armor and stuff like that. So, very cool. And then the hands here will enchant our archers. Well, either way, we need more archers. So we're going to do that because these spearmen fly, and that's storm magic. So our archers need to kill them before they get to us. So I don't think they'll attack us at that point. Alright, that's a familiar. So the cool thing about the familiar is it's got farsight, and it senses the dead, and it's tiny. So the farsight is really good, though, because as you can see now, my vision is much improved. And we can see that there's a captain and 4 swordsmen over there. So what we're going to do is we're going to take both of these guys here, and we're going to go crush our captain. Our army is definitely improved over this one, so that should be a fairly easy fight. Yeah, you're just going to tag my stuff? Is that what you're going to do? Alright, so we're going to hit the stats, because I know we've murdered them. We did. Let's go ahead and view how the battle went. See if we... Yep, we caused the spearmen to run with our howling. So, All right. So yeah, we'll go ahead and end it here because I don't see us doing any more right now. We'll take care of him at some point. But yeah, we'll go ahead and end it here. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe, as it means quite a lot. We've been enjoying seeing the new people come and commenting on our videos, so continue to do so. Love hearing from you guys. And I will catch you guys next time.